Club Talk. J Brodie. Yeah, baby, it's that Club Talk. Yeah, baby, it's that Club Talk. You're now listening to that Club Talk. And now, your host, J Brodie. 1, 2, 1, 2, ha!
All right, welcome to another episode of Cloth Talk Podcast. Got a special guest with me in the building. It took a little while to make this happen with scheduling and all these things. Everybody said third time is a charm, and it's a charm. I got Columbus on by way of Dayton and other places that we'll get into later. Jon Spreez is in the building finally, sir.
Well, it's good. I'm glad we could finally do this, bro.
Yes, sir.
It's
yes,
way
sir.
past due.
Oh man, immediately we had to get this done. I'm glad you can make time to do it. But we are on some time constraints, so we're gonna jump right into it. So before we started recording, you said that you were born in Dayton, but you moved here to Columbus. Can you talk about that a little bit?
My family actually is from Dayton, so all of our roots are in the DYT area.
Okay.
My grandpa came back from Vietnam because he's from Georgia. My grandma was already, in Dayton. They linked. And home is where the heart is. You want to stay where your woman want to stay. So, the rest is history. So I was born there. My mom ended up going to school at OSU after high school, going to med school, where, college life led to my conception.
That's where you came along.
But you know what? I'm not complaining, because had it not been, we wouldn't even be having this conversation.
That's right.
She would be a doctor.
So your father also went to OSU?
I don't know what he was doing out there. I'm not sure.
Praying on all the college chicks.
Yeah, probably doing something he had no business.
Messing around, huh?
Hey, one thing led to another, and here I am.
That's right. There you go. I want to talk about your music. When did you realize, or I guess before that, is there anyone in your family that's musically inclined like you are, or are you the
our
rare
whole
one?
family is really a musical family. Like, my grandfather always had a vast collection of records, vast collection of music. So we would take trips down to Georgia, and we would listen to all of the old school, all of the cuts, to Benny King, to Marvin Gaye, to Pointer Sisters, to whoever, just a wide variety of stuff. Yeah. And my mom was in a band in high school, college, played a little bit of instruments. But my uncle is really where I got the MCing aspect from.
So your uncle was a rapper?
Yeah, he's 14 years older than me, so he was in the golden era. And when somebody a teenager and you a kid, they're like, oh, like I want to be like that guy.
So you looked up to him?
Yeah, like that was my guy. So
did he teach you?
That's still my guy.
Like how to rap? Like he seemed like, hey, uncle, you teach me how to rap, or you just kind of?
It was never really formal. I would see stuff that he wrote, and he would read me stuff that he wrote, and we used to sit and he would record Rap City in the basement every day. So we would sit and watch Rap City every day. So you seeing all of the great MCs at the greatest time in hip hop, and you getting to watch that transformation over the course of time. And I've always been a student of life, pretty much.
So you like to observe
things I like. You know what I'm saying? And I've always been good with English, terrible with math. So kind of fit in.
So do you remember the first rhyme that you wrote? And if so, can you recite it for us, please?
I don't remember the first rhyme I ever wrote. I do remember one of the first things that I recorded. Like when I really decided that I could actually decide to rap, I was taking Latin in high school. Oh, wow. I always used to freestyle for my friends and whatnot. You know what I'm saying? Just as something
lunch table banging,
all of that jazz. But once I got to high school, we had to take Latin. I got a scholarship to go to St. Charles.
So you're a pretty bright guy.
Yeah, I try not to toot
minus
my
the
own
math.
It didn't last. But yeah, I got a scholarship to go to St. Charles, And one of the requirements was that you take Latin, and I just couldn't get Latin. So my mom told me that somebody had told her years ago that if you record something and you listen to it in your sleep, that you'll memorize it. So it started out as that, and then I started trying to rhyme them. And then next thing I know, I'm wasting all the time writing raps instead of doing Latin homework. So I remember doing this cut. I had this Casio keyboard where I record these loops off of the radio, and I would just loop them. And it was this, it was like do 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 do, and it was called Electric Funkadelic. It'd be like Electric Funkadelic, you know we do it wild. Electric Funkadelic. You know you like our style. So I've progressed tremendously since then. Thank God. I would not still be doing it.
All right. So that was your first little baby steps.
Yeah, you gotta start somewhere. That's, you know what I'm saying? It gets better and better over the course of time.
Yeah. I want to talk about your musical style. Because like I said, before you came in, I immersed myself in all your records. I'll just listen religiously on SoundCloud and all your other formats.
I appreciate that, bro.
Now, in a good way, it doesn't sound like you're influenced by a mainstream sound. It sounds like you challenge yourself to go left and be different, and it seemed like it works for you. Is that by a conscious effort of yours? Like when you're doing your music, you're consciously thinking to be different?
Well, I don't go out of my way like to not sound like somebody else. I feel like that's just kind of like who I am. When it's you and it's not a character, even though, you know what I'm saying, Jon Spreez is not Jonathan Baker, but when it's based on who you are, then it shows. And everybody's story is unique from the next person's story. So if I'm only writing about my story, then I'm hoping that it only sounds like me. But of course, it's people that I grab things that I like. Like there's certain artists that I listen to like religiously. Like I listen to a lot of Biggie, I listen to a lot of M, I listen to a lot of Bone coming up. And when you hear somebody say something, like I know something's dope, like when it sends chills down my spine. I listen to a lot of Luda. So like when I hear certain punchlines or certain rhyme schemes or certain flow schemes, I'd be like, wow, I want to be able to master that or possibly surpass it. So I would find an aspect like Biggie and M are real good at multi-syllabic rhymes. Yeah. So they'll have a lot of alliteration in their flows, and they'll have a lot of, one of the coolest things that I noticed is they have bars where every word in the bar rhymes with the next bar. You know what I'm saying? Words in the next bar.
It seems so difficult. And how do you?
It's seamless how they do it. I never figured out how they did it so seamlessly, because I feel like I spend a lot of time trying to perfect the timing of things. Like I'm a stickler for where the syllable hits on the beat. You know what I'm saying? So I want to, if I want to hit on the drum, I want to be able to hit on the drum. If I want to hit on the bass line, I want to be able to hit on the bass line. Yeah. So it bothers me when it's off a little bit. I'm kind of like a stickler. Like I look at it real scientific.
So that leads me to my next question. So you are a perfectionist.
Yeah, bro. I spent hours rehearsing the same verse over and over and over again. So there's no telling how much time I spend before we even get to the booth, just in the writing process. Man. So I try to get it done quickly. It's oxymoronic like that.
Yeah. How outside of that, like just freehanding, just like on when you're not in the studio or not in the mood to create, how often would you say you're just jotting stuff down, you're writing? Is it constantly like putting stuff in your phone or like a notepad or something?
I never graduated to the phone. Like, technology left me behind. Well, I treat phones bad too. That's another thing.
Losing it or
just bad, period. I may lose it. You know what I'm saying? I haven't really lost it as far as misplaced it, but I've had them stolen. Oh, man. You know what I'm saying? I've tossed phones and fits of rage and all types of madness.
How many phones would you say you had or had? That many.
And it's wild because I had to buy my first phone. Like I had to go out. My mom was mad at me too.
Oh man.
Went to the gas station, got a little Nokia. Shit, I probably had about
8 phones.
Yeah, man. Like,
would you believe I never had my first cell phone until I went to college?
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, had my mom had her way, I wouldn't have had a cell phone either. Yeah.
Oh yeah. So get back to how often do you write? So like, let's say in a month or a week or a day or something. How often are you writing?
I work now. You know what I'm saying? I kind of got it on the schedule. Like,
okay,
I'm always doing music. Like, I'm always either singing a jingle or rhyming something in my head or doing a ditty. Plus, my kids are musically inclined, so I'm always making up little songs for them. Part of it, you know what I'm saying, is just the exercise of rhyming words. So I'm always doing that, like, whether out loud or silently. Sometimes I get on my wife's nerves because I just be walking around the house nonsensically singing. But as far as sitting down and actually putting the beat on and writing, like every Friday and Saturday I work overnight. So
how many hours we talking? Oh, you're talking actual job you were doing. Oh, okay.
This is my actual job. Yeah. So I make sure that within that 8 hours, I'm dedicating at least 3 of it to jotting a verse down or jotting out a new track. And depending on how the mood feels, I may knock out maybe 3-4 verses in the city.
Oh, wow.
Or I may just knock out 2. If I'm really like diligently working on one and it's not just flowing. Yeah. Because just like, you know what I'm saying, it's structured, it's kind of unstructured because the music dictates a lot of what's or how things are said.
Okay. With your, and another thing I want to talk about, your beat selection too. And I had a chance to work with you. Great time. You work very fast. You blessed the beat. And this was, man, one of the beats I really didn't like. Bro, but you liked it.
It's a feeling. I was about to say, it's a feeling type of thing. So it's chemistry.
So walk me through that because I want to ask about your creative process. So when you heard that beat, what went through your head? Did you instantly hear a melody, a pattern, a flow? Did words start coming?
Well, I play beats over and over and over and over again.
Instrumentals just going.
So it's usually the same. If I'm in the process of writing, it'll be the same beat.
So you're focused on that one?
On that beat, I'll be playing that beat over and over and over and over again, unless I just burn out. Okay. Because I can burn myself out, but it usually doesn't work that way. Yeah. Like if I hear a beat, like usually within a few notes, I could tell like, oh wow, you know what I'm saying? Because I start freestyling. Like the beat that you sent me, it just kind of start coming to me like, heavy is the head, where's the crown? Heavy is the head, where's the crown?
So it just came out.
Yeah, it started. You mumble a little bit of something, and then you try to find words that fit the sounds that fit the beat. You know what I'm saying? Okay. I don't try to dictate to the beat what to say. I try to let the beat dictate to me. Okay. And it was a lot of strings and swells and stuff that you could really capture and feel and get behind. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I didn't want to tackle it traditionally because it wasn't traditional sounding. So those are, as far as being conscious of what you're doing, that's as conscious as I am as pre-planning. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Everything else I kind of just let flow.
Yeah. Yeah. So in your lyrics, it sounds like you are very in tune of what's going on in this world. It's not, I guess, cliche. What is it? Cliche? Is that the word? Yeah, it's not very ABC-ish. You're informed. You're talking about religion, government, race. I mean, all types of stuff. Where's that come from?
Well, I feel like
you read a lot, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely.
I could tell.
Well, when I was a kid, ironically enough, we moved into a house that used to be a library.
Oh wow! So the house was a library.
Yeah, it's weird.
Break this down. What?
we were
here in Columbus.
Yeah.
Okay.
When I was in elementary school, I went to we started going to a school called St. Thomas. Probably about, I was in 5th grade, and at the time we were homeless. Yeah. My mom was working at the school. She had became real close with the principal of the school, a lady named Sister Pat, God rest her dead. And she kind of took our family under her wing. She found out our story, everything, all the circumstances that didn't fall our way. And she was like, we getting ready to stop using. It was a house, mind you. It was a house that was owned by the church because it was a Catholic school. Okay. It was owned by the church, and they were getting ready to do away with the house. So her being the bright woman that she was, she said, why don't I rent you guys the house? You know what I'm saying? As we transition the books to this new trailer, because they were getting a trailer for the library books and whatnot. you guys can move. They moved beds in and everything, and we stayed in the house. It transitioned from a library to a house. But while the books were there, I tried to take advantage of it as much as I could. And I've always been like thirsty for knowledge. You know what I'm saying? The type of person that if I find something that I like, I really cling to it. So religion, you know what I'm saying, science. I've studied Buddhism, Islam, the Hebrew Israelites, sacred geometry. It goes on and on and on. Black history, you know what I'm saying? These are all things that just kind of like spark my interest. You know what I'm saying? Musicology, the science behind music and understanding why it works the way that it works. Like those are all things that I try to be in tune with, because I feel like when you have a platform such as music, you got to use it responsibly. You know what I'm saying? If the written word was powerful enough to get people killed, you know what I'm saying? I feel like it's powerful enough to make people stronger, wiser, smarter versions of themselves.
And it bleeds through your music. So when you're reading it and you're consuming all this information, it just kind of just comes out of you and your music. Is that?
Well, it's kind of like it go back to that jack of all trades, master of none type of syndrome. Like I hold on to certain factoids, you know what I'm saying, and a lot of subject matter for when I feel like it's relevant. And certain things just kind of come back around. You know what I'm saying? And as far as with religious vernacular and metaphors, there's most of the stuff that's written in the Bible is written in the form of a parable. You know what I'm saying? As a story within a story. So I always rationalize that if that was the easiest way to get a message across, then that's a method that I should try to employ. So I use a lot of the metaphors that they use because they still apply and they're universal. Even if you're not a religious person, you know the story of Noah and the flood. You know the story of Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? And there's symbolism behind the literal text. So I try to tap into that symbolism and apply it whenever I can.
How many unfinished verses do you have?
hundreds. It's a lot of shit that I start writing, and at the time I'll be like, "Oh, this is fire," and I'll go back and I'll be like, "What the fuck was I on?"
I wanted to talk about that, like with like an artist like yourself who's pay attention to their writing process and lyrics. How do you know when something's trash or not?
Well,
isn't it objective to you if a listener might hear like, yo, that's fire, you're like, it's weak, I write better than that.
Certain times
how do you know?
You feel like there's a certain standard that you're supposed to hold yourself to, and some of that standard is self-created and some of that standard is the standard that people have created for you. So when I listen to certain things, I try to listen to it like I didn't write it, even though I know I wrote it. Like I try to listen to it from the perspective of somebody hearing it from the first time. And when it was just me, it was a lot more difficult because if I get so far as recording it, and I obviously felt like it was good enough to deserve to be recorded. So when I listen back to it, it usually has to sit for a while for me to understand. I would have had to progress past the point that I was at in that time period to hear that I was capable of better than I put out. But now that I collaborate more, and my man's BJ is usually with me in the studio doing the executive producing, it's kind of a check and balance type of system. So, you know what I'm saying? I may have an idea and it may be completely off the wall. But that's just the way that I think. So I may propose some wild shit that we may not have the capability to complete. And you know what I'm saying? It takes other people sometimes being able to ground you a little bit. Like, yo, just approach it like this, or approach it a little bit slowly, or let's break it up. Because if I had my way, I spit every verse all the way through. You know what I'm saying? No takes. You know what I'm saying? One way through. It's all in house. It's knocked out. Hour, we done with the song. Man. But that's not really how it works, especially when it's multiple moving components. So I try to adapt as much as I can.
For people who haven't been to Ohio, describe it for them.
Well, Ohio is different than, you know what I'm saying, Columbus, because Columbus is one of those weird places where it doesn't have a strict identity. Columbus kind of has adopted all of the identities of the people that move here. So, you know what I'm saying? In the 90s, when we had all of the drugs and the gang bangers and the gang members coming from places like California and Jamaica and all of that, we picked up a lot of that. So a lot of that gang culture's here. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the hater culture or dolo culture that you may have in an isolationist region where it's cold. You know what I'm saying? Because that determines a lot of the way people are too, is the weather. So we take on a lot of that winter type of, you know what I'm saying, solo, isolationist, every man out for himself mentality with the irony of a gang culture, which they conflict. You know what I'm saying? So with the conflict, you have a lot of wannabes and you have a lot of hate here. But you also, the beautiful thing about Columbus is with it having everything, it has everything. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When you go out west, there's a certain feeling out west. You know what I'm saying? It's a relaxed vibe. It's a laid back vibe. It's a 6'4", lean back, smoke a J type of vibe. When you go out east, you know, it's a rough, it's a gruff, you know what I'm saying, get it by any means, we grinding out here type of vibe. When you go down south, it's a welcoming, our arms are open to you, come out here, dog, let's get it in type of vibe. And we have a little bit of all of that here, which is both a gift and a curse. But as far as Ohio goes, and you know, so make a lot of people mad. But Ohio's the best state in the country, man. We the heartland of the nation. Amen. Nothing happens without Ohio. Everything has to come through here in some way, shape, or form, and our culture is a part of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't like to give us the credit that we do because of the whole cornfield ideology. You know what I'm saying? Everybody does think it's the cornfield thing, and there's corn. We eat corn. But at the same time, you gotta think of the shit that came from here. Bootsy Collins came from here. Roger Troutman came from here. You know what I'm saying? Terry Glenn came from here. Halle Berry came from here. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit that came from here. A lot of great shit. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. So I can't do it the credit that it deserves. But a lot of greatness comes here. The problem with Ohio is people don't come to Ohio to find the greatness. Greatness leaves Ohio to be found. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to work against here. That's kind of what we fighting against in this hip hop scene in Columbus. Is the fact that we're not a hub. We're not a hub to bring people to check for talent. We're an export. We export our talent.
Love it. Let's take a quick break real quick. We'll come back. I want to talk about this new music that you got. Do I got an exclusive right here?
Yes, sir. I come bearing gifts.
I got an exclusive. We're going to come back, talk about this new project and some more good stuff right here on Cloth Talk Podcast.
Hey. Wistful about my issues, but I'm sitting with my pistols. May not know what's coming, but be ready when it hits you. Donated instrumentals, I'm just as deadly with a pencil. I'd be a Rockefeller if they paid you off potential. Dodging raindrops, stacking chips up like Nabisco. Cause out here they stretching kids like Vladimir Klitschko. And hunger got them younger and dumber. Caged like an animal, they still put us down like we pit bulls. Tried to provide hope for the dopes and used to skip school. So when I speak, they think this is gospel, like I'm Panic at the Disco. Abuse you and dismiss you, bill you to your dead, then they excavate your organs like the ark is in your tissue. Young OG, I really MC, you just pretend to. I can't sit by and watch my brothers die. Charged up like Drake, I feel like Goku off the sensu. Survival of the fittest, you don't know what I've been through. I know you niggas fickle. Same crowd you surfing to be the mob that'll lynch you. Same partner used to spot you or be the reason they bench you. I listen to that cat I don't understand why you're into. Browse his catalog and not one cut was original. Rap got watered down, we switched from analog to digital. Interpreted the spirits, then transcribed it in the physical. If I speak and then you change, I lyrically manifested a miracle. Child killed by a cop leaves a young mother hysterical. But this is just day-to-day life here in America. If I die before my time, send letters to the editor and my ashes out to Africa. Ground harder than spectacular, reception more immaculate. Shopping on Instagram to snatch the shit you were bragging with. Higher than a dragon kick, higher than Aladdin get. Trying to combat cancer, but my snacks are filled with additives. Miss Cleo saw the future and it's worse than she imagined it. Dealing with some stresses that I couldn't even fathom then. Fool me once, I guarantee that knife won't hit my back again. But it's treasure in his chest, if your ass would just open up the packaging. grip, but sometimes you gotta let it go. My pen's a palace, period. You gotta let it flow. Deliver the message as articulate as Hannibal. I'm serious, delirious. You treat me like an animal. Sick and tired, trying to cook up an antidote. Nagging like a nanny go, like what we up to Annie for. Spin no dinners candlelit, now you just dismantling. Said you tough and shit got rough and now you just can't handle it. Claim you keep it real, you keep it about as real as Santa is. Crying crocodile tears, ship sinking like Atlantis did. Taught you my weaknesses and you used to your advantagement. Here we land again, little people that we damaging.
All right, we're back on Cloth Talk Podcast. Jon Spreez is in the building. Columbus's own. Got some new music coming out, which we're going to talk about shortly.
Yes,
as a writer, which you are very good at, ghostwriting in hip hop, is it a crime?
It depends on what you consider yourself. You know what I'm saying, as far as hip hop goes. And my feelings on it have changed over time.
Okay, so what were your previous feelings?
I was a diehard. You know what I'm saying? I'm more so from the old school vein than the new school vein, as you supposed to write your own shit.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a representation of you.
Yeah.
So when you bringing other people in, not only are they not getting credit for it, but you're basically stealing their opportunity. You know what I'm saying? It's funny, and you kind of lying to the public. So
it comes to you across as this person is a fraud.
Well, to an extent, you know what I'm saying? Because it's certain people that we knew never were writing their rhymes. Like, we know Puff don't write rhymes. We know Dre doesn't write rhymes. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying, part of the foundation of hip-hop is individuality. You know what I'm saying? That's when let me tell my story. You know what I'm saying? My rags to riches perspective. So when you start borrowing from this guy and this guy and this guy, it borderlines on biting, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not even exactly sure what biting is to people today.
Let me ask you this. So let's say a scenario, you in the studio, you know, you creating, you working on a record, and one of your homeboys or engineer throws you a line like, no, what, say it like this instead of that. Use this word instead of that. Would that be considered ghostwriting?
Nah, I've never considered that ghostwriting.
So if someone actually is penning your stuff.
Yeah, if somebody's sitting there and they got a list of bars for you, or they've got a reference track. Like, I've even gone so far as if a guy's gotten caught up on a rhyme scheme and we working together, you know what I'm saying? He just can't figure out how to make a transition. I may toss out a line, you know what I'm saying?
Is that considered ghostwriting though?
No, I wouldn't, because I wouldn't personally. I don't think I deserve credit for it.
You just hear.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's a line. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to if I
verse.
write an 8-bar couplet, or even if I write the intro to your verse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of touchy, because whose story am I telling at that point?
Right.
If I throw you a line, I still have to fit into the framework that you've given me. You know what I'm saying? Outside of just the beat. You know what I'm saying? You've already decided where you're going. You already have a flow scheme. You already have the next rhyming couplet. It's just you're missing a line.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, oh, it would sound tight if you said this, or if you just removed this line. And put something else there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's part of the collaboration part of hip hop. Because if you're in a group, I don't believe that there's any group that wouldn't help their group member.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If they sitting there and they're challenging each other to finish this record, that even if it's in the way of a slight, like to make you step your shit up. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that there's any group that's ever worked together that didn't help each other complete something at some point.
Like, I'm pretty sure if you think Outkast wasn't helping each
right, they're in the studio together. Or even outside of them, Dungeon Family. Anybody from Dungeon Family could be lending you, you know what I'm saying? Even a concept.
Yeah. Would you say, now you said your feelings have changed about ghostwriting. Now, how about today? Is your feelings still the same, or they change? What made it change?
Well,
your perspective.
It depends, because people now look at hip hop differently. Because I feel like now you have to distinguish the difference between an MC and a rapper. You know what I'm saying? Like, before, they used to be one and the same, or at least very similar. But you have to really differentiate, because the rapper, even as big as his record may be, the MC Hammer, the Vanilla Ice, how as big as his record may be, you know what I'm saying, the young MCs of the world were still viewed as outside entities from the main culture. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We we don't look at Rob Bass in the same light that we look at Tupac. It's just different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? Now with cats like Drake, whose music I thoroughly enjoy, you have to take into consideration that he's not really a rapper. He's a guy who raps. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy who does rap songs.
Does that when that came out about the ghostwriting scandal with Drake, does that knock you out of being one of the greatest of all time? Absolutely. If someone is ghostwriting for you?
Absolutely. Positively. Absolutely. That's how I feel about Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? He didn't. I don't feel like he. You know, as far as ghostwriters, he didn't have the direct ghostwriter. But with all of the stuff that he's taking from Biggie and the way that he's taking it from Biggie, because I'm an avid Christopher Wallace listener.
You love
it's not a whole lot of music to choose from.
Yeah.
But I've heard as much of it as I could consume.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? I could pick up little shit and little ways that certain shit is said that's like, oh, yo, you got that from Big. And it's not like Jay the only one. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Big is probably the most influential rapper, period. Because more people want to be like the character that Big described than the character that Pac described.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's funny. You know what I'm saying? I always looked at it. I always looked at it funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't consider Drake a rapper. So, you know what I'm saying? Beyonce has people come in and write for her. And I think he's closer to Beyonce than he is to, you know what I'm saying, a Will Smith than he is, who I found out Rakim wrote Summertime.
I love it.
And I didn't know that.
I knew it.
I did not know that for years. And that was my favorite Will Smith song.
Summertime.
Soon as I found out Rakim wrote it, I went back and I listened to the song, and all I hear is Rakim. It sounds exactly like everything about it.
Smooth delivery.
And I'm sitting there like, damn, I don't know how to feel about it no more, because the impact that it has is still the same.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's still the Grammy Award winning. Summertime is still the best Will Smith cut.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the same time, it's like, damn, yo, like, how should I feel about this?
Yeah.
But to an extent, if you really want to enjoy this music in the direction that it's going, it's hard to be a purist. It's hard to be a purist and still have variety.
Yeah. Does that change your, like, when you found out someone is ghostwriting for like one of your favorite artists, does that change your perspective of that artist now? Like, oh, I can't look at you the same no more, man.
Usually, unless it's, you know what I'm saying, unless I don't know about it yet, my favorite artists don't have ghostwriters. I usually try to find cats that have such a distinct style that if they had a ghostwriter, he should have sold 1 million records just as well as they did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I used to listen to Eminem a lot. Like, old Eminem, and I used to have trouble with it because, you know what I'm saying, I didn't like him at first because first of all, I wasn't allowed to listen to it when it came out on the radio. My Name came in like 97. Okay, so I'm like 7 years old. So when it would come on the radio and he talking about, mom, you ain't got no tits, my mom's cut off the radio every cut. So there's a forbidden fruit aspect to it. Yeah. So once that goes away, you know what I'm saying, and you get a little bit older, you've already let all of this time pass. So by the time I first start hearing him, I'm like 15. Yeah. So I listened to Slim Shady LP because my homie Joe was like, bro, you have to listen to it. You never heard Eminem? What are you talking about? All you heard was My Name Is. And I started listening to shit like Brain Damage. These are the results of 1,000 electric balls to neck with balls. Nurse, we're losing them. Check the pulse. And I'm like, how is he doing that shit? Like, that shit blew my mind. Right. And once something like that happens, it starts to change how you look at hip hop and the possibilities of what you can do with it.
Limitless.
Yeah, like what you can do with the written word. It's like, it's astronomical.
Yeah, it's crazy. I want to ask you about a couple of lines from two of your songs that I really like, and I want you to elaborate on it. All right. The line from the song Bittersweet, you say, I understand Johnny Cash. I often walk the line between heathen and divine, my flesh falling behind. What? Break that down for us.
Well,
that's a heavy line.
Yeah, man. Well, Johnny Cash, you know what I'm saying? I started digging Johnny Cash towards the end of his life. So I would look at shit that he would say, and there would be, when people talk about spirituality, they usually use double talk. They'll say shit that you can't really determine whether they talking about spirit world or they talking about real world. So, you know what I'm saying? Me being a spiritual person and me being a Gemini, you know what I'm saying? I often go back and forth because I talk about all of these religious ideologies and I like to live this righteous lifestyle. And on the one hand, I am a father, I'm a husband, so I have an example that I have to set.
Yeah.
But I'm human.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I fall short of what it is, the standard that I hold myself because of my flesh. It's hold me back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I lust after women. You know what I'm saying? I enjoy marijuana and liquor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not always my best self.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And just like that, musicians suffer with going back and forth, and they're reflected in his music.
Yeah.
That's true for me as well.
Yeah. So that line just reflects your shortcomings.
Yeah, a little bit of both, because it's a lot of people out there that aren't conscious that they're falling short because they never had an expectation of themselves to begin with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? It's a positive within there too.
Yeah. The next record, which is one of my personal favorite of yours, The Highness. Which you admitted that you enjoy the marijuana.
Yeah, I do.
The line that I want you to elaborate on, it says, "Sometimes I want to quit. Yes, believe I try, but the point's at the lowest. I be needing to fly."
Well,
is this kind of like you're struggling with trying to put it away?
It's an internal battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, I look at marijuana differently than a lot of people do.
Hold on, wait. Before you answer that, what was the first time you smoked marijuana?
I was 15 years old. I was at my homeboy White Mike's house. Yeah. And we were listening to Busy Bones' One Night Stand. And I remember...
He offered it to you?
Not exactly.
Oh, this was your doing.
Well, I was with my mans, Joe.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We go over to White Mike's house, and of course, they're older than me. I always... At that point in my life, was hanging with cats that were older than me. Okay. Because I like to soak up game. And I feel like I can get more game if you've been in the game longer than I've been in the game.
Talk to the OGs.
Right. So, I'm around these cats, and we over their crib listening to music or whatever. And White Mike had some bud here. Like, when his mask was, like, tucked off. And my nigga got an eagle eye. So, he sees it as we walk in. He's like, oh, you got some pack. You hiding some pack. And you know when you're young.
Move that cord. Going out a little bit.
Let me know when we good.
Yep, that's good.
Okay.
All right, good.
When you're young, you're kind of impressionable.
Yeah.
You wanna act as if you've done more than you've done.
Mm-hmm.
So he like, oh, you holding out on me? We gonna smoke this? What? He hesitant, agrees. You know what I'm saying? They bring the bong out, break it down. They hitting the bong or whatever. So I'm watching them, and I'm smelling it, and I'm seeing the environment. I want to be a part of it. I'm like, let me hit it. You know what I'm saying? They like, nah, bro, chill. You ain't ready. You don't want to start off like this. Blase, skip. Yeah. I convince him. Hit the ball. Next thing I know, I'm hacking my lungs out in his bathroom till I throw up in his toilet. After I threw up, though, I was the highest I've ever been in my life. I can't.
So your first time wasn't a pleasant experience.
Actually,
throwing up. After that, he was good.
I can't even remember the throwing up feeling. I was so high, and it was well worth the exchange. It was
well worth the exchange. So after that, it was a wrap.
Hey, I've gone back and forth ever since. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Oh, I threw you off. The line.
Yeah.
Sorry, I threw you off.
No, we good, bro. We still on topic.
Yeah. Sometimes I want to quit. Yes, believe I try, but the point's at the lowest. I need to fly.
Yeah. It's like, it's always been an internal struggle with me. Like, I've always looked at marijuana differently than other people because I've always been told to never let anything be your crutch and never be dependent upon anything. So once I got to a phase in my life where I started realizing, because I'm a super self-conscious person, so once I started realizing shit about myself or seeing myself from the outside looking in and not liking what I see, it was about addressing that it existed in the first place. Like, it's an addiction in the sense of not like a physical addiction like heroin, but it's a mental addiction. Like, it's a part of it becomes a part of who you are, your social circles, the things that you do to have a good time. Marijuana becomes a part of that. And when it's no longer a part of that, you find yourself alone. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? or you find yourself in a space where you're uncomfortable because you've been smoking for so long. Shit, I'm 27.
Yeah.
So
from 15 to now.
Yeah,
It's a lot of years of smoking.
Yeah, that's a long time for something to be a part of your routine. It gets to be a part of who you are. Yeah. So every time I quit, you know what I'm saying, I go through points where I'm like, I'm done with this. Especially now that I have other people in my lives that don't smoke. You know what I'm saying? I have children. I have a wife. My wife's never been a smoker, drinker, none of that.
Yeah, here you come.
And I do all of those things.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? And you always want to be equally yoked with your partner.
Yeah, absolutely.
And whether she felt like it was a problem, there would be periods in life where I felt like it was a problem because I would need to smoke. Like I'd be irritated or life would get at me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Or the seasons would fuck me up. We'd be in long periods of cold. You know what I'm saying? And that start fucking with you. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? I'd be feeling like I need to hit some bud, man. And even though I said I'm done or I'm gonna quit for this job, I'll be calling the weed man up like, bro, what's good?
Call it connect.
Yeah, man. It's having a weakness. It's your strength and your kryptonite at the same time. And once it becomes your strength, it becomes your kryptonite.
That's where that line comes from.
Yeah, bro.
Wow. Now, when you have those periods when you try to quit, how long do those periods last? When you say I'm done, how long do the quitting period?
The longest I think I've ever been, it was probably a year. Probably about a year.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, Me and my bro quit at the same time for an extended period of time, and one thing led to another. I don't know if we parted ways because we was living together at the time, so I don't know if we parted ways for a period or what happened. But I started smoking again. He didn't. You know what I'm saying? He started lifting weights, and he's gotten tremendously bigger and I'm the same size. So I spent more money, and he's got bigger. So
wow. I want to talk about now when did your kids come along? Are they?
I have a 2-year-old and I have a 6-month going on 7.
Oh wow! Look at that.
Yeah, man, back to back.
Yeah. You're not shy at all, huh?
Man, I wish I was a little bit more shy. Nah, but real shit though, it's changed me for the better, man. Like
that's good.
Marriage was really hard. Like when I first got married, it was very difficult because it was an extreme lifestyle transition.
Absolutely.
Like
grab that cord.
Yeah. Let me see. We good?
Yep, good.
Okay.
I think when it hits your knee, that's when it goes out.
Let me see. Let me adjust my leg.
Yeah, you good.
All right.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. I've always been one of those people where I've had to look out for myself. You know what I'm saying? Take care of myself. But I could move around wherever I needed to be. Yeah. But once you attach yourself to another human being, you have to plant roots somewhere. You know what I'm saying? You have to get a home. You have to adopt lifestyle characteristics that are not Rolling Stone-esque. Yeah. Should I say? Yeah. So that was a challenge for me for a while. Yeah. And part of that process of becoming more rooted in who I was and becoming who I am was my children coming along, because now it's like, yo, this isn't, you know what I'm saying, about me. You know what I'm saying? As much as I love my wife, you know what I'm saying, she's my rib, my earth. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We can part ways. She can find a new nigga. You know what I'm saying? And he may be richer or stronger or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And that may be true. But no matter what, you know what I'm saying, flesh in my flesh is still that. You know what I'm saying? That doesn't change. Yeah. No matter what the relationship is that me and my father have, he's still my father. You know what I'm saying? So that regard will never go anywhere. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's a powerful thing, shaping and molding human beings. You know what I'm saying? That's a hefty responsibility. Just keeping another person alive. Man. You know what I'm saying? Keeping a goldfish alive takes work. But a human being that learns and reciprocates and needs love and attention constantly. You know what I'm saying? It makes you adapt how you think about things.
Yeah. Now being a father at a, I guess, fairly young age, would you say that has affected your music per se?
Yeah, absolutely, because it affects where you go and the things that you do. At least in my experience, because my music usually reflects the stage that I'm in my life to some extent. You know what I'm saying? So I can't necessarily go to some of the places that I used to go or involve myself in activities that I normally would have thought acceptable. So it changes, you know what I'm saying, the perspective that you tell your stories into, whether it's first person or you telling it from third person, or it was or it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was doing these things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now this is a cautionary tale. Don't do these things.
Yeah.
My homeboy's gone. Don't do these things. Because my kids, they listen to my music.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They know what dad does.
Yeah, they know what I do. They know daddy's working.
Yeah.
When the door closes, they know daddy's working.
Yeah. Yeah. Like myself, you got married pretty young.
Yeah.
I think we got married when I was 25?
Around the same time.
Yep, I'm 27 now, so
Yeah, around the same time.
Would you say, I guess, being married as an artist, we know what comes along with being an artist. There's a woman. Yeah. There's environments. How have you dealt with that? I guess call them groupies per se, or girls who are interested in you because Jon Spreez.
well, marriage is weird.
Yeah.
To an extent, because whereas you would think it would deter some women it attracts more because it says to them that you can keep a woman.
They like that commitment.
Yeah, you have to be able to take care of her to a certain extent. Even if you're not the main breadwinner, if someone kicks the door in tonight, she has to somewhere believe that you're going to be able to take care of her.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And to some women that I've encountered, especially with me being young, it's like, wow. You know what I'm saying? And it's one of those things that kind of speaks for itself because I'm an upfront person. You know what I'm saying? I don't hide my wife or my kids. Yeah. All of that's, you know what I'm saying, in the forefront. Yeah. But I'm also a people person. And I enjoy being around both males and females because the energy's different. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Dudes provide a different energy than a woman provides. You know what I'm saying? Intuition versus logic. All of that shit's real. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So I need multiple inputs. And earlier in our relationship, it was more difficult because my wife wasn't secure in the type of person that I was. You know what I'm saying? I've never been a cheater or no shit like that. Yeah. But
as far as what
women
comes,
have always liked me. You know what I'm saying?
You never struggled in that department.
Yeah, I've never had a problem getting a woman. It's being with them for the long haul where the difficulties have come in. Yeah. So it takes adapting. But at the same time, if you're an honest person, you know what I'm saying, real recognize real. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the shows, my wife go to the shows. Oh, and if she not at the show, you know what I'm saying, I ain't the type of nigga that need to be there a whole long time unless we handling business. Yeah. Once we done handling business, I usually want to bounce out and go home anyway. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I make my relationships with the people I need to, and I don't with the people that I don't. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Part of it is knowing when to say deuces, you know what I'm saying, and bang out. Yeah.
Is your wife, does she critique your music? Like, I ain't like that record, or
yeah.
She does? Yeah. How do you receive it? It's like, come on now.
Well,
that shit's fire. What you talking about?
I'm open to it because I value her opinion as educated. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that we don't talk to each other like she doesn't know music. Like, she don't know music like I know music. Sure. Because, you know what I'm saying, when something is your craft, you supposed to dive into it. Yeah. And it's not her craft. Right. But she listens to hip hop. She knows good music when she hears it. Yeah. So if it's not good, she's usually good at explaining to me why it's not good.
As a listener.
And it's very rare that she'll say something isn't good. Unless I tell her previously that I don't really dig this. You know what I'm saying? This shit's a little off. Like, I got songs that I recorded that I don't feel like fits the narrative of who I am. But it was a fire-ass track, so I recorded it. Yeah. It just won't come out.
No one would ever hear it.
Yeah, nobody ever hear it unless somebody does some post-human shit. Get a check. Which, you know what I'm saying, as long as my family get paid, more power to you. Yeah. I'm dead.
Right, well, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about this project for sure. We're going to dive deep into it. We're going to dive heavy into some music talk. Stay tuned. Cloth Talk Podcast. Jon Spreez.
Yup. Yo.
just need to face off to this one. So I'm gonna roll up this L while I work on this track and see what I can come up with. You get so low sometimes, you feel me? Yo, Slim Dunkin' in the land of the munchkins. Makes me wanna holler like I'm in the Smashing Pumpkins. Used to fuck up blunts, had to roll with the punches. Started out with swishes and learned to roll Dutches. And all of your classes be the topic of discussion. And always get a sack like Duke Buckets. Ride out to Timbuktu with a man from Nantucket on a trip to Amsterdam. Riding the snuffle up kiss. My girlfriend hates for me to get high, but it don't make me change or act strange. It's just how I get by. So the redness of my eyes gets me caught in a lie, but I got a facilitator if I want us to survive. Sometimes I wanna quit, yes, believe me, I try. But at the points when I'm lowest, I be needing to fly. It'll be tough, I know it if you along for the ride. Hit this tree, grab your wings, and meet me in the sky. And we gon' get you high. 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 Come with me, we'll get you high. And we gon' get you high. We gon' get you high. Barella, lick it, split it, get your weed and break it down. In the session with some clowns claiming they can face the pound. Wonder why I'm always hot, is it insecurity? Or the moments when I'm blown is when my mind is pure to me. It started as a lure to me, some shit I seen is cool to me. Something it would do to me, had me skipping school for weed. Say that I'm a dreamer who walks through life in a fantasy, but in reality there's no place that I'd rather be. The surplus of blunt roach is starting to hurt my money. Am I an addict, a pothead, or a fucking dummy? My vision blurry, I think I need some glasses. My table covered in hashes, resin in ashes. The bowl packs some cash and has me coasting through classes. In between naps, my life's a series of flashes. My head spinning, world tilted on an axis. Cause with the golden hair like on the head of a Saxon. And we gon' get you high. 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 Come with me, we'll get you high. We gon' get you high. We gon' get you high. Fuck it, man. I gotta hit the weed, yo.
Talk, welcome back. Jon Spreez is in the building.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Let's talk about this new music you got.
Yes, sir. Yes,
give
sir.
us the title. Give us the whole get down. What do we call this new project?
This is DaDa Spreez.
Go ahead, hold it up to that camera.
It's
right
kind
there.
of a continuation of Eastside Johnny Spreez a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
As in, you know what I'm saying? The theme is kind of similar. It's a different stage in life than I was then.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? When I was working on Eastside Johnny Spreez, I just found out my wife was pregnant with our first child, so I'm kind of dealing with the fears and the pressure of that.
Yeah.
And this is kind of after I've caught my stride. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Now that my life has made that transition where I'm at now, because it changes you.
Yeah. What could we expect on this project? Like how will the listener feel when they hear this? Will they get a different side of Jon Spreez?
Well, our goal when we sat down, really initially was to make as much music as possible.
So you just wanted just to pump out the records?
Well, that was before we whittled down to an album. When we first started recording these bodies of work, we wanted to grab as much material as possible so we would have a large pool to pull from. And that kind of turned into DaDa Spreez over the course of time, because we worked on this for over a year.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're not the type to rush music. You take your time.
Well, I try to. You know what I'm saying? I get excited. You know what I'm saying? Once some shit is done, I'm on it. So,
let's put it out.
Yeah, it's taking extreme willpower, because I'm really proud of this body of work. Yeah. So it's taking a lot of willpower, and my man's BJ has been having to tell me pump my brakes. Like, bro, chill. We gotta make sure the timing right. Because every stage of the way, I want to throw it out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm really proud of it. So
that's great.
And it took a lot of collaborative efforts. I got my homeboy Aaron Williams does art. He hand drew all the art for me. Uploaded it.
Straight sketch.
Yeah, man. Hand to hand drawing, like he's like a real talent.
That's dope.
And we sat out, recorded all the music. Me and my homeboy BJ, 2 different houses. I'm at a whole different location now. Yeah, man. I sent everything out to my homeboy Mikey in Atlanta. He does all of the final engineering and the mastering, puts his sauce on it. Yeah. And it kind of just culminated into something that was bigger than myself.
How many records we got on this one?
This one's 13 tracks.
Nice. Any skits or just straight music?
It's a little bit of breaks in between, but it's not like full-fledged skits, because I really wanted to focus on the music. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want a lot of features and I kind of wanted to stick to the narrative.
Yeah, I noticed that when I listen to your catalog, you don't do you'll do some here and there as far as features, but you seem like you just always just give them straight Jon Spreez. It's Jon Spreez.
Yeah, I've kind of, because features are funny. Like, you really gotta coordinate schedules, and you gotta make sure that everybody has the same amount of dedication to it as you have. Because I've had experiences where I'll be on it way more than the other person will be on it, and I don't never want to feel that way. Yeah, because I feel like if I'm excited about working with somebody, I'm a fan of their music. Yeah. And as a fan, you know what I'm saying, you never want to be snubbed by somebody you're a fan of. Right. So you may run into that a little bit, or you may run into where it just never quite syncs up. So I'm never one to sit on something forever. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If I enjoy it and I'm proud of it, I'll finish the song. Yeah. So
you just keep it for yourself. Yeah, I'm like, man, I'll fill that spot for the rest.
Yeah. I mean, it's not like features is something that I need. Yeah. It's something that I desire to have, because it adds another element, another aspect or angle to look at things at. Yeah. Because when you're doing something with somebody else, you kind of feed each other's fire. You stoke each other's flames a little bit. So you step your shit up, they step their shit up, because nobody wants to be the weak link.
Yeah. What they say, steel sharpens steel.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's absolutely the truth.
Yeah. Will we get any visuals from this project? You gonna shoot some videos?
Yeah, we already have one out now.
Oh, perfect.
Which we dropped while I was on tour back in March. A little premature, but hey, excited. Yeah, I was about to say, I get excited about shit. Yeah. Plus, I wanted it to coincide with us coming back from tour. Okay. You know what I'm saying? So we had the Demons video shot by Good Kids, Big Dreams TV. You know what I'm saying? My homeboy out in Cleveland, my homeboy Mark shot that, edited it up in like an hour and a half. Like, he's nice.
A wizard.
Yeah, like I've never seen anything like it. He knocked out 3 videos while we're on the road in Texas, and had them all edited before we even got back to town with previews. So,
dope.
Like,
real quick, go ahead and give out your social media and stuff. If people want to connect with you, listen to your music, go ahead and plug away.
SoundCloud, you can check me out, Jon Spreez on SoundCloud. That's JON no H SPREEZ. You can check me out Instagram, Spreezy Baby. SPREEZY BABY, at Spreezy on Twitter. Usually if you search Jon Spreez on any of your social media, JONSPREEZ, you know what I'm saying, you'll find me. I'm pretty much the only one.
Yeah, it's not too many Jon Spreezes out there.
Yeah. There was another Spreez that I found a few years back. But he wasn't like first name Spreez, and he only had like 1 or 2 videos. So I don't even know if he's still out there. If you still out there, Spreez the Swag Lord. You know what I'm saying? I remember you, dog. From one Spreez to another, I remember you. But yeah, iTunes, we got shit on iTunes, SoundCloud. You can check us out, Amazon, Google Play, wherever they're streaming music, Jon Spreez. You can find any of my music, JonSpreez, and we got a lot of material out there.
Yeah. Right on. Is there anything that I guess you're trying to accomplish through your music? Like, is there like a goal that you have in mind?
Well, partially, I've always looked at it as something that was therapeutic for me. So no one, I don't know, maybe somebody does, but most people want to make some sort of imprint or impact in the world or the timeline that they live in. And I feel like when you leave something behind, it gives you a better chance at doing that. Because I've always looked at myself kind of like Van Gogh. Like Van Gogh drove himself crazy over his work. Like that's how passionately he loved shit. That's an
extreme level of
that's how much he loved shit. Yeah. Like he was passionate about his work. And it drove him mad. And he never sold a piece the entire time he was alive. To me, that stuck out more than anything. He never sold a single piece in his life. It wasn't until he died that his painting was, at the time, it's no longer anymore, the highest grossing at auction ever of all time. If I'm not mistaken, it was Starry Night. I could be wrong. But at one point, he had the highest grossing painting in auction of all time. Never got to appreciate it. We have a bad habit as consumers to never love our creators while they're alive, especially black folks. We're the worst at it. And part of it is because we have a history of people stealing our shit and taking credit for it. So we don't get the opportunity to give our greats the appreciation that's deserved. Not to say like, oh yeah, I'm a great or nothing like that, but I'm just saying creators in general. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's innovating or trying to do something new is usually appreciated after they can appreciate that appreciation. Yeah.
In your music, I noticed that you're not braggadocious. It's not a lot of how fly I am, how much money I got, how many bitches I fucked, or popping bottles at the club and flashing all money and stuff. Do you choose to stay away from that, or it's not a part of your DNA?
Well, you know what I'm saying? I like to flash every now and then. You know what I'm saying? I think
it's a little salt and pepper.
Yeah, it's in the DNA to an extent. You know what I'm saying?
But I don't hear it too much in your music though.
I try not to. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because I feel like what always boggled me was I would buy a nigga's album and I'd pop it in and he would say something to me like, "Yeah, I'm gonna fuck your bitch." Like, bro, I just gave you $15, bro, for you to tell me that you gonna screw my girl, bro. Yeah. I done paid to go to your concert for you to tell me I'm never gonna have as much money as you.
You're almost offended in a way.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's when you start really thinking about the things that people say to you, because when you put it behind music, you can disguise it a little bit. Like, I remember it was a Big Sean record, and I forget what the DJ was. But he was like, to get where me, I think it was DJ Holiday. He was like, to get where me and Holiday at, you gotta suck 100 dicks. Now I know what he meant. I know what he meant to say, or what he meant by what he was saying. But if you take it literally, you know what I'm saying? To get in that position, you gotta suck 100 dicks? That's absurd, bro. Like, so I try to be conscious of the shit that I'm saying to people. Because these are people that I'm supposed to care about. And I'm partially responsible for.
They're the one purchasing your music, downloading and all that stuff.
And I'm suggesting things to people. You know what I'm saying? When you make music, you're subconsciously suggesting shit to people. Like, I remember hearing about Judas Priest, and there was a big case of teenagers where they did some sort of satanic sacrifice on a woman. They ended up killing her or some shit. And they said that all they had been listening to was this Judas Priest record, and the Judas Priest record was telling them when they played it backwards, go kill this woman. Now, you know what I'm saying? On the surface, it may sound absurd. You know what I'm saying? But when you start looking into the science of all of this shit, You know what I'm saying? How you can suggest and warp the mind by just, you know what I'm saying, the little things that you say. Yeah. It's like when you tell a child over and over again, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid, you're stupid. Even if the child starts out knowing that they're not stupid, eventually that starts to, well, am I stupid? Yeah. This is all I've ever heard. Am I stupid? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So if all I ever hear is, I'm a nigga, I'm a thug, I ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You're going to take my bitch. I never have a whip. My chain ain't shit. You're going to rob me. I'm going to start to believe these things that are self-deprecating about myself. Yeah. And, you know what I'm saying, being a fan, you know what I'm saying, a lot of that shit I've had to fight through because you do adopt some of that shit in your psychology. Yeah. So I try not to put that shit on other people.
Yeah, that's dope. Today's generation, there's this big old debate, mumble rap versus lyricism. Right. Where do you stand on this side of the argument? Is there a place for lyricism today, such as yourself? Like, how do you feel about that? Oh, that's not real hip hop. This is the real hip hop.
I mean,
is it all a bunch of nonsense to you, or you buy into it?
Well, I try not to tell people what's not hip hop. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Unless it's some flat out culture vulture, you know what I'm saying, snake shit. I try not to tell people what's not hip hop. Yeah. Because if we start doing that, then we start eliminating shit like Sugar Hill Gang. You know what I'm saying? They weren't bars personified.
They classified as disco.
Yeah, like it's a lot of shit that we have in hip hop that has a place that's not politically charged. It's just for dance. It's just because music in its purest form is supposed to make you feel. That's it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? If it makes you feel anything, even if it's anger and disgust,
evoke some type of emotion.
A mission.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as far as, you know what I'm saying, nothing's new. Mumble rap is not a new phenomenon. Yeah. I've heard LL Cool J bullshit his way through so many fucking records. He invented swagging your way through a record. I used to say that shit all the time. And this is the GOAT. This is the great LL Cool J. You know what I'm saying? That's why he invented it, though. Yep. He invented swagging your way through a record. He, she, give me couscous, love me good. What does that mean? No one knows what the fuck that means. But LL said it, so it's cool. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, you can't be completely ignorant to what the fuck you're doing. When I hear shit like Young Thug saying that he don't have a responsibility to Black Lives Matter or political issues, that bothers me. Or when I hear Lil Uzi saying stupid shit about how Biggie and Tupac don't matter or they don't fuck with them, or Lil Yachty saying stupid shit about the greats that came before them, that's when it becomes an issue. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's a lot of old haters too that don't want to see a young nigga shine because we have an expiration date in hip hop. Yep. So they don't want a nigga to fill their void. So they'll do anything to hold on to what it was. But we supposed to evolve. Yeah. We're not supposed to be doing the same shit. It's not supposed to be fight the power for 30 years. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Chuck D's, he's ill as fuck. But everybody's not Chuck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's a trade-off. You got to be open to what everything offers. And it's some shit that young niggas give me that I'm like, this is bullshit. It's flat the fuck out bullshit. Yeah. If you just repeating the same shit over and over again, but then it's shit that's jiggy. Like it's certain shit that you're like, oh shit. And you gotta check yourself. Like, because every generation you become the old guy and it doesn't sound like anything to you anymore. Yeah. So you gotta fight against that shit and still be open to what these young niggas is giving you.
Yeah. This current state that we're in with music and hip hop particular, I was talking to another artist, AM the Queen, and she said 2 years from now, this phase will be over. Do you think this phase that we're in, is there an end to it? Do you think it's coming soon or later?
I don't think anything really ends. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I think everything works in a cycle. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I look at it like this. MC Hammer, Vanilla Ice come out and they drop crazy fucking dance records. Undeniably crazy fucking dance records. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Even a hip hop purist can feel the bass line and can't touch this. That's Rick fucking James. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You can't deny that. That's a funky track. Yeah. And you know what I'm saying? We get back to, you know what I'm saying, the pureness of it. Once it gets too extreme, you know what I'm saying, it's too glitzy, it's too glamoury. It's like, nah, we can't fuck with this. So the new generation is anti all of that shit. Yep. So then you get the Nas's and all of that shit and the street shit and the DMX shit and the 50 where it all pops. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like Get Rich is where that shit, the gangster rap, that's where it was too much. That was his MC Hammer moment. And then right after that, what we got? We got Soulja Boy. We got Crank That Batman, which is the same shit without the box as MC Hammer and Vanilla Ice. It's the same shit as Tootsie Roll and what's that shit? Percolator. It's the same concepts. You know what I'm saying? That shit don't go away. And then once, you know what I'm saying, that was too much. You know what I'm saying? We start getting the street shit again.
Yep.
And all the trapping shit came out, and the Jeezy and the Wayne mixtape tour starts. It's a cycle.
Yeah.
Everything in life's a cycle. We're gonna get tired of this shit.
Yep.
And it's gonna go back to whatever it was before. And then the next group of niggas is gonna be so tired of that they're gonna go the complete opposite direction.
Yeah, so it's gonna come right back again.
Yeah, that's just how time works, man. Everything is just a repetition of what happened before.
Yeah. Will Jon Spreez ever conform?
It depends on what we mean by conforming. Because to an extent, I've conformed to a day-to-day life. You know what I'm saying? Because it can't be sex, drugs, and rock and roll for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's not in the cards for me. So with that being said, I've conformed to those days being behind me, to a reckless youth being behind me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm still young, but I'm not a reckless youth anymore.
Yeah.
But as far as conforming to the status quo of what society tells you you're supposed to be, that's, to me, I feel like it's impossible as a black man, because we're the opposite of what the status quo is.
Yeah.
To me, the status quo is for us not to exist.
Yeah.
So once you start conforming to that, then you start self-hating and doing genocidal style actions. You know what I'm saying? A la some of the politicians that we see in blackface.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm very anti all of that shit. So if it's sponsorship, I'm probably not gonna do too well with the sponsors. No Dove commercials and shit like that.
So you have integrity. Jon Spreez is not gonna do anything for the bag.
Even to a fault, man.
Give him your
shit,
social media.
Hey, but we're talking about ghostwriting shit.
Yeah.
That Quentin package, I might take it. They gave him $10,000 a month and an apartment.
You probably take that.
Shit.
Have you ever ghostwritten for somebody?
Nah, not as in. I've been asked to.
You didn't do it.
Nah.
Why? Why not?
It was weird because at first I really didn't know. At the time, I didn't know how to approach it.
Oh, okay.
Because, like I said, like previously, I was kind of torn about whether or not it's something that you should do.
Yeah. And
then in the second vein, it was kind of like, well, I don't know your life, so I would be writing from my eye through your eye, which is weird. You know what I'm saying? So I'd either have to be really, really general, or you would have to lie your fucking ass off. I mean, it could sound cool. I could coach you on how to say it, but it don't mean that it'll be real for you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people that know you and know me know that that's not you.
Yeah.
So
pass.
Yeah, man, it was weird. We just ended up like kind of falling away from discussing it. Like, we could never sit down and really work out how we would go about it. And part of ghostwriting implies that you're never seen. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Which I personally don't have a problem with, as long as the bag is proper.
Yeah. Bring home the bacon.
You're right, bro. I got family to feed. The bag proper and shit. You can have some throwaways. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? When we listen, it's hard for you not to bleed through. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not going to do myself a disservice where I shortchange myself where it's like I got my style from you. Yeah. Or shortchange you where it's like, damn, like he sounds just like this nigga. Yeah. So
give me your social media again.
Yes, sir. Follow me on Twitter. That's at Spreezy, SPREEZY. Spreezy Baby, all one word. On Instagram, SPREEZYBABY. Jon Spreez on pretty much everything else. JONSPREEZ. You know what I'm saying? We on iTunes, we on Amazon, Google Play. So it's really no excuses for you not to check no music out. We got the free shit on SoundCloud. We got the video for Demons on YouTube. So you can go check that out. That Demons is going to be on this DaDa Spreez that's coming within this next month. We got the full copies right now. I'm giving my man Ron one today.
Blessed.
So, you know what I'm saying? You being blessed with the first copy, bro.
Right.
Like,
can I play some of these on the podcast or I need to wait?
Yeah, bro. Go ahead, play a couple.
Oh,
bro.
you're good, man.
We having the listening party coming up this month.
Yes,
this coming month.
I would
March.
love to make it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll be sending you the invitations. So
Please
sending invitations out for that.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying. Tell a friend.
Absolutely.
All of that.
I want to talk to you about the Columbus rap scene.
Right.
To me, it seems like there's something missing. The talent is here. It's a lot of talent in Ohio, period. But specifically Columbus here, it's there. What do you see is missing to, I guess, to put more light on the artistry out here? Is so much. What do you think is missing? Is it people not fucking with each other? Is it business infrastructure, money? Is it?
It's a combination of a lot of things. One of the main things is a lot of Columbus hip hop is real cliquey. You know what I'm saying?
So nobody really want to fuck with each other.
Yeah,
stay in a little bubble.
Even in fucking with each other, they don't fuck with each other enough to get somebody out. Because really, all you need is one.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Chicago, one. You know what I'm saying? The floodgates opens.
Yeah.
But we don't really have like a fake shore drive. You know what I'm saying? We haven't graduated to that level where people nationally are concerned about what's going on regionally.
Yeah.
And another big problem that we have is a lot of these fucking venues is racist.
Really?
Nobody will say that shit, but I will. And a lot of these fucking venues is racist, and they don't want to do black music here in Columbus.
They about to blackball you now.
I mean, it's cool. You know what I'm saying?
They gonna hear this. They gonna see this interview.
I'm trying to get
Fuck
to
Jon Spreez.
I was trying to get to the point where I don't need to ask for a favor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, or I don't have to do the shuck and jive. That I want to be in that level of comfortability. Okay, we can't perform at your spot. We'll set the shit up outside. You know what I'm saying? Wherever we can get people together, because that's how hip hop started in the first place.
Yep.
And a lot of that we need to get back to. But there was, I don't know, you know what I'm saying, if in the time period before me, niggas was just fucking these clubs up. But a lot of these club owners act as if we're some sort of hooligans or some shit. And I've been to enough events to know that that's not true. That's a stereotype.
You can't blame them. There's some people out there, they fucking shit up.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
do.
establishments. These are people businesses.
You right.
If I was a business owner, I'd be like, I don't know if I can let you book this space out, my man. You look kind of.
But check this out. This is how I knew it was some fuck shit.
Go ahead.
I was living on campus when we won the national championship in 2015. So
talk about your Buckeyes.
Yeah, bro. when they won that national championship, them college cats was tearing that fucking campus to shreds. Like
Fact.
They had no fucking sense. Burning couches. Around the corner, a block from where my house was, they threw a couch out the window, torched it on fire in the middle of the street. And they don't say all of these things about those white college students that they say about us. You know what I'm saying? One rich homie Quan concerts get shut down because of violence, and now all black people are violent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
White people tear up the whole city of Philadelphia, and no one says a thing. A black kid gets killed. Black people tear up Missouri, and they like, we not gonna take this shit no more. And they like, oh, these thugs, these looters. People are starving in New Orleans. There's just been a flood of historic magnitude. People are breaking into convenience stores and taking supplies, and they say that they're looting. I saw a video on Facebook of people tearing a convenience store to shreds after the Super Bowl. No one once said that they were looting. You know what I'm saying? It's about who it is, not what it is.
Yeah.
And a lot of that shit is true with these venues. You know what I'm saying? Rock concerts get fucked up too. You know what I'm saying? They get rowdy as fuck in those rock concerts. But we don't get to hear about it because that's not newsworthy. A black rap concert there's a brawl at a black rap concert, 3 dudes fight, and now it's, you know what I'm saying, a big deal all over the internet.
Yeah.
It's a double standard for sure. It's getting better. It's getting much better. But there aren't as many black owned venues as there should be in this city.
Yeah.
And there aren't as many other owned venues that are open to more than just one type of music.
Yeah.
Which, it's a mess, man.
It's a mess. I'm curious to know your take on this. As far as you being a well-educated person, blacks having the most buying power as far as in America.
Right.
Do you ever see that changing or going down? Like we spend so much on the materialistic things, trying to chase after the next trend, the next style, whatever is happening. The new Jordan come out. I gotta get the first pair, the new iPhone, the new whatever. We're first in line, packed.
Yeah.
What is it about us as, you know, a race that we gravitate towards wanting, and we want this, we want that, gotta have it? What do you think that comes from?
I don't think it's really a race thing specifically as it is.
We're number one.
And, well,
that's crazy.
I'm saying in the regards as spin.
Gotcha.
I don't think that's just specifically a race thing. I think that's an American thing.
Okay.
But as far as the way that we spend money, how liquid that it is,
it's nuts.
You have to take into account, you know what I'm saying, the history. And I had to go back and really look at shit.
Mm-hmm.
And man, niggas get out of slavery and they suddenly have all of the skills because they've been doing all of the labor. So you got all of these displaced white people who have never done labor in their lives. Mm-hmm. So we're all of the artisans. Niggas have always been savvy. You know what I'm saying? Of making something out of nothing. So we pool our money and we build towns because we're not allowed to live in theirs. And we build banks because we can't hold our money there. And we have farms because we can't eat their food. And they come and they burn the shit down. And they take all the money out the bank and they take the clothes off our backs. And that happened over and over and over again. Up into the 60s and 70s and shit when the whole country was in such financial straits that niggas were at good times level low.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In reality, financially, we were better off segregated than we were integrated. Because now our money is interpooled. Mm-hmm. So if it's in our hands, it's not in their hands. So it needs to be in their hands to keep the power structure the same. Another problem is that Black Americans suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder as a whole, as a unit, and it's impossible not to. If generationally, all you've seen is people that look like you abused, mistreated, offered less, having to settle for less, having to do with less, dirty children, miseducated, if this is all that you see around you, and every time something good happens, it's an exception and not the rule, then you need every bit of oxytocin that you can. Every time somebody buys a pair of Jordans, or they get a new shirt, or they get a new car, the same chemical fires off when you take a hit of heroin or when you take a snort of coke. It's the same type of element. And it's the same element that comes when you breastfeed a child. These are natural things that we need. But because our structure and our society, which is different from their society, is so sick, you constantly are looking for some sort of gratification. Whether you over-sexing or overspending or over-drugging, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We always have to do a little bit more to compensate because we got so much baggage that came from hundreds of years of baggage, like generational. And I think a lot of that gets discounted when we talk about shit like black on black violence and black spending power. Yeah. I mean, who else do I see in my hood other than black people? White people ain't coming out there. Yeah. So who's gonna piss me off? The people that I see. I'm already pissed off. I don't have any opportunity. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And the opportunity that you do give me, I have to belittle myself so little to achieve it. You know what I'm saying? Either I'm not spending time with my family, which is the same way slavery was setting up. I have to work so hard and I'm not spending time with my family, so that's lacking and I'm not a good father. Or I can't provide for them because in order to provide for them, I have to work all the fucking time. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas would have 2 and 3 jobs. I done had 2 and 3 jobs. Yeah. It's just, when do you have time to be happy? You know what I'm saying? They get to go on vacations. You know what I'm saying? Like, my mother hasn't been on a vacation in years. You know what I'm saying? Last vacation I went on was my honeymoon to Hawaii. And you know what I'm saying? That was groundbreakingly profound. Just to put into perspective how hard it is for niggas to do shit for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, it was so mind-blowing for people. They like, yo, y'all went to Hawaii?
Right.
And that's in America. Like, shit. Imagine going to Africa. Like,
oh, man.
It's so much we not allowed.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Just by circumstance. Or you got to work so damn hard. By the time you get it, you can't enjoy it. Or you trying to keep other niggas from taking it from you because we all want the same things.
Yep.
We want the same shit that every other group of people in the world want.
Yeah.
Happiness, comfort, and pleasures.
Yep.
Security.
What's that saying? The crabs in the bucket, they all trying to get to the top.
Yeah. But that's capitalism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's American. If I sit down with my daughter and we watch Nick Jr. and shit during the day, and every commercial they advertising to her. They're not advertising to me. Mm-hmm. Barbie's new dream house. They never say the fucking price.
Yeah.
Never say the price. They just show kids, yay, having a great time. And my kid sees kids having a great time, and she thinks that this is what makes you have a great time because that's what TV tells you. Mm-hmm. Have this, you will have a great time.
Yep.
Not realizing that what you learn as an adult is that shit get old fast because it'll be a new that next week.
Yep.
So everything that comes on, can I have that? Can I have that? And you can only blame the child to an extent. You can only reinforce you don't need everything to an extent because people much savvier than the child are at work here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to combat against all of that shit too.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it starts early.
Woo-wee. His name is Jon Spreez. Pay attention. This man is loaded with a lot of information, a lot of thoughts.
I try, brother.
Let's take a break. We'll come back. Maybe we'll wrap this up. We'll see.
Right.
Call Talk Podcast, Jon Spreez.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck, I guess I'll be a heathen. As long as I can be the last nigga breathing. I see this country treat us blacks like it's open season. I kill you and you kill me, then who is left for grieving? I take the girl into Chanel like taking Eve to Eden. Heaven and hell, what or who do you believe in? Keep a Nina when I'm sleeping if ever I should need it. We all fighting our demons, but you don't have to feed them. Can't be a prophet and profit the world. As it turns, don't get much time to stop and observe. I miss church, but still found time for dropping the word. Took the adjective and now put on top of the verb. Rock the curb, crooked coppers be stopping the search. Built up for awkward exchanges, look like I'm shopping the word. Feel my pain, it's got me feeling like popping the purse. Spirit been locked in the verse, until I'm shopping for plots in a hearse. Tell me what's worse, niggas act like you forgetting debts. I'm bleeding at every meeting, that's not to mention the sweat. Intentions are just intentions until we leaving them wet. Positioned in my position, the mission's to get a check. Appreciate complimenting, but nigga, I've been the best. If interested, then invest. Who you call when you're distressed? I've been repping for the team like motherfucking Mitchell Ness. Dwayne Wade promised blessings and I kept on taking less. I isolate, roll up the sets when I can't take the stress. Mom said I'm depressed. This is how I express all the tensions that's been building up in my head and chest. Only last for a moment, this is all just a test. But I don't give a fuck, I guess I'll be a heathen. As long as I can be the last nigga breathing. I see this country treat us blacks like it's open season. I kill you and you kill me, then who is left for grieving? I take the girl into Chanel like taking Eve to Eden. Heaven to hell, what or who do you believe in? Keep a Nina when I'm sleeping if ever I should need it. We all fighting our demons, but you don't have to feed them. Yeah.
Claw Talk Podcast. Jon Spreez is in the building. Right off the bat, Big Sean top 5, yes or no?
Alive?
I asked everyone.
Alive? Big Sean?
Big Sean. Currently, not ever.
Okay, as in the hitters right now.
Yes. Big Sean, top 5.
Run through the hitters. Cause see, Big Sean's funny for me, bro.
That's why I ask everybody that's an artist this question.
Certain shit make me take him out of it that he would have previously been in. Cause he can spit.
What disqualifies Big Sean, in your opinion?
Big thing that disqualified him. I feel like to be a great, you gotta have survived or won a beef. You
Okay.
A battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's certain criteria. I look at this shit like 2K, bro. Like, how you got this shit? You gotta get to the Hall of Fame. You gotta do this, and this to get to the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
And I feel like when he had his opportunity, you know what I'm saying, he backed away from it. Not even that he lost.
Yeah.
He cowered away from it.
But correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he initiate that? Or was it some subs that we didn't catch early on?
Well, I feel like the control thing initiated it.
Okay.
Because whether he initially said it or not, he definitely felt some type of way about it. I think everybody felt some type of way about it, which I never understood why everybody was so sensitive.
Yeah.
Because as far as Kendrick verses are concerned, it's not even really one of his better verses. But when somebody says your name, it's a personal affront. You know what I'm saying? It's power in the name. When somebody name drops you, it's like, oh, what you gonna do? Specifically you. Yeah. And if you feel like you in the tier of these group of niggas that was named, then you're like, why the fuck you ain't named me? Yeah. So he got named. This his record. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You held serve for this. So either you're an ally or you're an adversary. And once you named yourself as an adversary, you gotta stand up to that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he didn't do that. I feel like he heard what Kendrick had to say. Kendrick called this nigga a bitch 57 times. There's no other platform that a nigga can call you a bitch that many times and you just like, I don't really want to. Yeah. But Cole did the same shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that takes him out of it too. Really? Yeah. Because he had that same opportunity presented to him, just not as directly. The people pitted them against each other. Yeah. So even as strategic as Drake is, and as, you know what I'm saying, some of his motives, you still got to give him maybe not top 5 MC, but top 5 in hip hop for sure. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Which it starts getting thin. You know what I'm saying? You start saying, all right, well, we got Ken. Okay. If we being generous, we could throw Cole in there, but I don't know if I'd throw Cole in there at this point. Yeah,
they're going to tear you up in the comment section, boy.
And it's funny, because I'm light-skinned, people be like, yo, you look like Cole. You sound like Cole.
Growing the dreads out.
But see, I'll never coordinate my shit with nobody else, man. I'll be feeling like I'll say some shit, and then it'll pop off, like bucket hats, fucking overalls. That's the next one. Overalls. They're about to start wearing overalls again. You've heard it here first. That's if right. They haven't already, they're about to start wearing overalls because I told niggas I was going to wear it.
So you don't give Cole, he's not in your top 5?
It goes back and forth because, you know what I'm saying, if we talking about just current MCs.
All right, let's do this. Give me your top 5 all time. Okay. Then give me top 5 current.
I was about to say current's a little more difficult.
Yeah, let's do all time first for you, then we'll go current.
Okay. In no particular order.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? I'll say Big. I'll say Pac. I'll say Andre 3 Stacks. I'll say who the fuck else did I have in here? Andre. Nas, obviously.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? And number 5 always goes back and forth for me, man. It's either Cube, X, you know what I'm saying? I think it's either Cube or X for me. It go back and forth because early Cube could make an argument for being top 5 all time, but second half Cube, I'm not a huge fan of. In the club forward, I'm not a huge fan.
You didn't
Everything
like that.
Before that, that's classic. You know, some of my favorite records of all time. Of DMX, course. You know what I'm saying? He got a larger pool of work to pull from. But, you know what I'm saying? He has shit that it's like, yeah, I don't know why you did that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But as far as just niggas fearing you and the level of testosterone and power behind your vocals, DMX is unmatched. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? People don't give him the credit. He do.
Yeah. X is hard.
Yeah, X is a hard one to go against.
Yeah. All right, let's do your current top 5.
Okay.
You got Cole out of there already.
Yeah, I'll say Kendrick. Okay. Because it's harder to think of cats, man. Like
slim picking nowadays, huh?
Yeah, man. Because, like, when I pick top 5, you got to have bars. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a criteria of you being a top 5 MC. Yeah. Now. But, you know what I'm saying? I say, shit.
Really struggling.
Yeah, bro, because there's not a lot of people with I'll say Lupe Fiasco. If
there
he's
we
counted
go.
As of today. You know what I'm saying? I like Jay Electronica, but I don't know if he got enough body of work to be top 5, or if he's young enough. You know what I'm saying? If he falls into that category or not. And then it's like, oh, I don't know, because it's like I like Joyner Lucas, but I don't like that every record is I Gave You Power. I feel like every record is I Gave You Power in some way, shape, or form.
You like Logic?
I got.
That's a clear no.
I feel like Logic can rap. It's not because he can't rap. What I don't like about Logic is I feel like he glorifies suicide, whether directly or indirectly. You know what I'm saying?
I think he glorifies it.
Yeah, I mean, when you do something,
he just won a Grammy off that record.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's my whole point. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do a lot of people that commit suicide really need? And one of the main things is attention. Just somebody to care. You know what I'm saying? So if they feel like they'll be immortalized by this Logic record, it's not going to stop you from killing yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's going to make you kill you. There's a song about me now. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make you kill yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of shit that's been coming out, though, that's been glorifying suicide. You know what I'm saying? I think it falls in with that. I think anything that is glorifying Xanax and drug abuse is glorifying suicide just as well. Not saying Logic falls into that category.
Right.
But I'm saying they go hand in hand, but on different spectrums. You say, you know what I'm saying, that I'm trying to bring awareness to this. But it's no different than wearing pink when the football players wear pink at the football game.
Breast cancer awareness.
It's never cured breast cancer. We've been doing this for 30 plus years. You know what I'm saying? The pink ribbon, the Yoplait, yogurt, all of that. Peep this. Fucking found out that dairy promotes the growth of tumors. So Yoplait, the same people that's saying that they fighting breast cancer, product promotes the growth of that exact same cancer that they claim that they're funding the fight. So where's all this money going? If Dr. Sebi had already cured cancer when Left Eye went to see him in Honduras, which was what, 2001? That means for 16 years we've had to cure the cancer. Fucking Magic Johnson done gained more weight than I have. This nigga has AIDS. So something don't add up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you getting all of these people that's getting money from all of these supposed awareness that we're gaining. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But they're footing the bank and the people still die. They don't stop dying. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Logic ain't bringing everybody that's suicidal to a Logic concert for the free. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you really hurting, ain't no song gonna stop you from killing yourself. You need somebody to talk to you. You need somebody to listen to you. Yeah. More so than talk to you, you need somebody to listen to you. Yeah. And that's what a lot of people are unwilling to do.
Yeah. I want to go back to Eminem real quick. Do you think people don't say, not saying you, but a lot of people don't say Eminem's name when we're discussing the greats of all time? Do you think it's because of this man's skin color? Regardless
that's part of the reason I don't say it.
Because of skin color.
Yeah.
The man's skill is unmatched.
Yeah.
But because
one
of that melanin.
One of the greatest MCs to ever. But
no one can do what this man can do.
But it's weird because I hear the people that he listened to. You know what I'm saying? You can hear Big in him.
He says Redman is his favorite MC.
You can hear Redman in him. You can hear Cage, another white rapper. You can hear in Eminem. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got elements. You know what I'm saying? You could tell he was influenced by black artists. But it's kind of like the Elvis effect. I think what M did is great. And I think it's groundbreaking. I think he's one of the greatest, and he's influenced me directly more than most MCs ever have.
But you won't say the man's name.
Well, I don't put him top 5. You know what I'm saying? That's not to say I don't put him top 10, but I don't put him top 5.
Why is he not there?
Because I feel like a lot of the pedestal that he's been placed on and a lot of the accolade is from him being white. I feel like that is a handicap that they gave him, and it's to no fault of his own. You know what I'm saying? You can't help what you're born at. But I can look at it and say, like, well, this is a reason that other MCs didn't get the same, whether it be deserved or undeserved. Because I've heard Inspector Deck spit a better verse than anything I've ever heard Eminem spit. Yeah. And I've heard almost everything that Eminem's put out publicly all the way back to Infinite. You know what I'm saying? Which I liked Infinite. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's a it's one of those things that's weird. Certain things come to us naturally.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's a culture thing. You know what I'm saying? It's when you learn somebody's culture versus when it is your culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? All of the cats that I named, they are the culture. And Eminem is a part of the culture. But when you think rapper, you think Tupac. Period. If I had to pick a costume to dress up as a rapper and everybody would know I was being a rapper for Halloween, it would be a Tupac costume. And everybody, no matter where they came from, would readily identify that it was something to do with rap.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? That's a part of it. At the end of the day, Eminem can go into shit that we can't go into. He could tap into fan bases we could tap into. He can win the Rolling Stones greatest MC because most of the people that have subscriptions to Rolling Stone are people that look like Eminem. But most of the people that are the ground roots of the culture or the people that he came up with, like the outsiders, are black. You know what I'm saying? He had to get better just like we did. And I think part of why people think that he's great isn't because they heard all of his shit and the multi-syllable breakdowns and all of this shit, or that he can rhyme all of these exotic words. I think a part of it is he can rap and he's a white guy.
Yeah.
So that automatically puts him in the forefront of people's minds. He's the only white guy you'll think of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Nobody says Vanilla Ice name.
Right. And you know what? Vanilla Ice, I was talking to my homeboy the other day. Vanilla was saying some gangster shit in that song. Like some real gutter shit.
If we really pay attention.
Yeah, if you listen to he talking about having gauges and nines and running up on niggas and all type of shit. Like, this is gangster rap with a dance beat.
Give me a top 5 underrated MCs. Underrated.
Okay, that's a little easier.
Yeah. People who are nice, but nobody gives them the nod.
I'll say Currency.
Okay.
I'll say Wiz.
Okay. All stoners.
Yeah. But it's
Such as yourself.
It's not even just because of that, though. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that they do musically.
Okay.
That, you know what I'm saying, really captures my ear.
Yeah.
Like, outside of the vibe. Because there's a certain... It's hard to create an atmosphere. And they definitely create an atmosphere. So I've always respected that about them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So you got Currency, Wiz.
Let's see. Currency, Wiz. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Because I got to put my thinking cap on real quick.
Underrated.
Because I don't want to do my... This Redman. We talked about Redman.
Yep.
I think
3.
he's heavily underrated.
For sure.
Shit, EPMD, that whole movement was underrated. Rakim, anything that comes before the golden era, a lot of people don't give the credit that it's due.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Members of Wu-Tang Clan outside of Raekwon, Ghostface, and Method Man. Like I said, Inspector Deck has one of the greatest verses of all time, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to that verse on Triumph, it's fucking fire. It's unfuckwithable.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anytime I hear Kid Cudi's another guy that I like.
Kid Cudi.
You know what I'm saying? Underrated. And I think a lot of reason he's underrated is because people don't consider him an MC.
Right.
But if you listen to all of the niggas out now, he's their father.
Yep.
That sound came from him.
Yep.
Kanye's 808s Forward, that's heavily Cudi influence. And that's Ohio shit. Chip the Ripper.
Chip the Ripper.
You know what I'm saying? I grew up on Chip back in the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And people don't even acknowledge that he existed anymore.
Yeah.
And he had bangers. There's a lot of cats out there. It's more that don't get the credit than do. The Big Puns of the world. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't have a whole body of music.
Yeah.
But if you listen to that Twins, or you listen to that shit with Nori on it, I forget what the fuck that shit was. Jadakiss has never I've never heard a whack Jadakiss verse in my entire life.
You won't find one.
You'll find a whack song. You'll find a few whack songs.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every song ain't a hit.
Yeah.
But every verse.
He delivers.
Yeah. Cassidy's the same way. Every song ain't a hit. But every verse is a hitter.
Yeah. That
you
boy barred up.
Yeah. Like, People forgot how ill Cassidy was. I watched this nigga freestyle for 20 minutes. And I watched it. That in of itself is a testament to how I sat through a freestyle for 20 minutes.
You didn't get bored or nothing.
Nothing.
Just
bar for bar for bar.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Anytime a nigga, that's how I know niggas is dope. If a nigga says some shit, and I'd be like, yo, I wish I wrote that. That was fire. He had a cut called and this is a good ass song. Called Friends at a Distance. It was either called Friends at a Distance or Enemies Close. And the hook was like, I keep my friends at a distance and my enemies close, cause the folks you call friends tend to envy the most. I keep my friends at a distance and my enemies close. Cause they'll act like they friends then give me the toast. Like, I mean, and it's a whole story, just like Somebody's Got to Die is a whole story.
Crazy.
And it's that level of creativity, you know what I'm saying? It's pushing the status quo.
Yeah. If someone ever says Jon Spreez's name in a rap, will you respond?
It depends.
Dissing you.
It depends on who it is.
Also depends on the person.
Yeah, it depends on how much respect I have for you and how much it bothered me.
Okay.
Because, you know what I'm saying, when you arguing with a fool, nobody knows which one the fool is from a distance. You know what I'm saying? If we across the street, I can't tell which one of you's the idiot.
Yeah.
You know? It's two idiots over there arguing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if it discredits me to, you know what I'm saying, to get into it with you, then it is what it is. Or if it's so personal that it's now moved outside of rap, then I'm not gonna rap about it. We gonna come talk about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's a fine line between, and we artists, we sensitive about our shit. So it's a fine line between when you're battling and when you're pushing the envelope past to the point of disrespect. Yeah. Which I've never personally had, but I've gotten into altercations over rap. I've gotten into fights over rap, Even trying my best not to get, like, when you can smell it in the air, and you trying your best not to be antagonistic to the situation. You know what I'm saying? But, you know what I'm saying, it comes with the territory. It's naturally braggadocious. It's naturally competitive. So if somebody feels some type of way, I don't know if it's more of a testament to them than it is to me. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you the one that felt enough to say my name in a negative light. So it's weird.
It all depends on who it is.
Yeah, man, I might enjoy it. If the bars was tight enough, nigga, I might give you a kudos. Shit, nigga, like, damn, he's coming at my neck. Like, then I might have to get with you. Yeah, man. You getting at me? I might have to get with you.
Right
man.
on.
If you're not getting at me, I'll move on, nigga.
Yeah. You just said something that brought me to my next question. Why are artists sensitive with their music?
Well, I feel like anything that you create, you have a sense of pride in. You know what I'm saying? If you build a house, you're gonna love it more and deal with more shit than if you bought one. You know what I'm saying? The roof cave in, you get roaches, you're gonna be less likely to want to turn it over. There's a sentimental value to it. And with music, you're usually expressing a certain vulnerability. So I'm already opening myself up to you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm being trusting enough with you to be vulnerable with you. So when you start shitting on me, it's like, damn, like, it's just like if you tell somebody a secret. You know what I'm saying? And they go and tell everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's a betrayal of your trust. It's a certain intimacy between a listener and a creator because it's a personal relationship. You're either in a car with a small group, or you're at a concert where you went there because you wanted to interact with that person individually, or you one-on-one with the headphones and they're talking directly to your subconscious. There is no more intimate, other than sleeping with a person, there's no more intimate than that.
Yeah. Is there anyone besides your wife and I guess the people that work with your music that you let hear your music before you release it?
Yeah.
So you run some things by people before you put stuff out?
Yeah, I let my little brother listen to stuff. You know what I'm saying? I used to let my OG Joe listen to stuff. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, everybody that's working with me, my wife.
Yeah.
I might, if a homeboy is around and I just, you know what I'm saying, did something or I'm excited about something, I may want their opinion on it. Because something that always stuck with me was in the Temptations movie when they would sit in that room and they would play the records and they would be like, raise your hand if this is a hit. And if everybody didn't raise their hand, it wasn't a hit. You know what I'm saying? That shit always stuck with me. Yeah. So that made me value what a person outside of the bubble, because if you work on it, you still have some sort of emotional attachment. Yeah. Their opinion of it is. Yeah. Like, damn, how do you feel about this? Oh, that's tight. And it means more when they say it versus when you say it to them.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like when you go and you tell a woman, like, yeah, I'm the greatest lover. I've been with all these women. And she like, whatever. Versus when her girlfriend come and they be like, yeah, that nigga's a Mac. He'll lay it down, girl. Right. You know what I'm saying? She go, oh, what? Oh, let me, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? It's a different level of influence. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Somebody else vouching for you versus you vouching for yourself.
Yeah. Jon Spreez, I think I've asked all the questions I have.
Oh, it's been a pleasure, bro.
Is there anything else that you want to mention to the people? Make sure you plug the album again. Go ahead, hold it up to the camera again. Yes, sir. The name of it.
DaDa Spreez is coming out very, very soon.
Sometime in March, we say?
Yep.
Okay.
This March, early March, actually. Yes. I don't know if it's going to be first week, second week, but it'll be early March. This will be out. We're going to hit the iTunes in the head. We're going to hit the Amazon. We're going to hit the Spotify. So everywhere you can stream. We're going to have hard copies so you can come holler at me and get the actual body of work. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of personal. Time. It's like when you put time into something, you feel a little bit of pride about it. But if you don't want to wait, you know what I'm saying? You want some shit right now. I just dropped Spreez Summer 17. That's on Spotify. That's on iTunes. That's on Amazon. That's on Google Play, Tidal, YouTube. You can check that out. I got a couple singles out that didn't make the album, but we're still banging. They didn't make it because it wasn't banging. They didn't make it because we wanted a strict narrative here. We kind of wanted to fuck with the flow a little bit. But you can check all of that out. Check my old shit out. You know what I'm saying? If you want to get familiar, because I feel like a man's music is like his diary. So if you want to see how you get from point A to point B, sometimes you got to go back to point A. All you gotta do is check your music. We go all the way back to Dat Piff and live mixtapes. We got shit everywhere. Cool 99. Shout out to my homies BJ, my nigga Aaron, my nigga Jordan, VA Visions. You know what I'm saying? All of my fellow MCs that I've done work with and that I will be doing work with in the future. You know what I'm saying? Because we, like you said, still sharpen steel. We out here making each other better, and we're interdependent on each other in order to be heard. So I need you. And we need each other, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna be here for you, you know what I'm saying? That's the promise that I made to my city, is that I'll be here for you. If it's good, I'm here for it.
It is.
If it's uplifting, I'm here for it.
That's right. It is.
Spreez Summer 17 out now. All your streaming. Check me out on SoundCloud. DaDa Spreez coming very soon. 13 tracks of fire, track for track, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm my worst critic. So,
so you do have a favorite on there.
Yeah, I got a couple. You know what I'm saying? Stick in my heart.
Right on. There it is. Cloth Talk Podcast. Jon Spreez.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Absolutely, man.
Yes, sir.
Hold on. Wait. Before you go, if you enjoy that episode of Cloth Talk Podcast, do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe and follow button. Also, rate this podcast, share this podcast, and like this podcast. If you are an artist or know anyone who is an artist that would love to get their music played, send that to clothtalk5@gmail.com. Once again, that is clothtalk5@gmail.com. See you next time.